Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. I was thinking yesterday about what I wanted to talk about on this week's coffee chat. And as always, I spend way too much time on forums with other hairdressers. And most of the time, I sit back and I don't really jump into most of the banter on there because I find it to be super negative and it puts me in a bad mood. But it's also my job as a full-time educator to take the pulse of the industry and see what it is that people are struggling with and how I can best serve people in the hair world with my experience and my education. So a common theme that I keep seeing is, how can I get more clients? How can I get busier? I'm slow. I can't pay my bills. I'm ready to give up. Help, help, help. So when you see the title of this week's topic, it says how to get booked behind the chair. So you're going to think, oh, Elaine's going to get on here and give me a magic answer of how to get bodies in my chair. And I do have a lot of good magic answers. However, my concern is it's just like being on a diet. I can always relate everything to food. So I know that I want to lose weight. I know that I want to feel better. And I know that I'm not doing what I need to do to make that happen. I'm still making poor choices. We were just on the run for the last few days trying to get away from Dorian's path, and it ended up not coming our way, but we're new in Florida. We weren't really sure. We were scared. We didn't know what the protocol for hurricanes was. So we jumped in the car and we drove more inland and more north to get out of the way of the hurricane. So there's something about road trips and being on the run and staying in hotels that calories just don't count. You find yourself eating crap on the road. It's all fast food, and you make a deal with yourself like, oh, I don't have a choice. There's no healthy food. I have to eat this stuff. So I'm in the car and I'm eating Pringles and peanut M&Ms and all the things I know at my age I have no business eating. So why am I rambling about weight loss? I know what I need to do to lose weight. I know I need to move more than I sit, and I know I need to eat a lot less than I did in my 20s, 30s, and even 40s. So I can buy books, I can hire trainers, I can do all the things that everyone does, but until I get present with myself and how I am contributing or not contributing to the outcome, none of that is going to be effective. Both of my best friends are in super tip-top shape. They give me advice all the time on what I need to do to lose weight. And when they tell me, I get the hairy lip and I'm like, oh, I think I'd rather be fluffy. That's exhausting. So I know what it takes to get there. I also know what it takes to be a busy hairdresser. I owned my salon for 30 years. So you can only imagine the amount of people that have come through my door that were trained by me, that were taught all the same things. I got to the point at the end of my owning my salon where I knew by the second day when someone was working with me if they were going to be a six-figure stylist, colorist, whatever it may be. We were departmentalized, but I can see that fire in their eyes. I can see that work ethic right away, and they are taking ownership and responsibility for their career and whether or not they're busy. So the thing that fired me up for today's topic was this gentleman on one of the forums was like, I'm working in a salon. I've jumped a lot. I ended up in this place. And, the owner, I'm the only other one that does color besides the owner. And of course, the owner tries to keep everybody for themselves, which is a whole other conversation. And they're not giving me any clients. And of course, everybody answered, stop waiting for the salon to get you busy. It's a whole new world, guys, with social media and having the phone in your hand and having access to doing it on your own. You really have no excuse. And stop blaming the owner, the location. Stop playing the blame game. The only person responsible for you getting busy and being successful is you. So take a look in the mirror and take responsibility. So before I give you, I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. So the gentleman said, when I do, oh yeah, I'm doing everything that I need to do. I'm posting on social media. I'm handing out my cards. I'm telling my clients I'll give them $10 off their next visit if they refer somebody. But anytime I get busy and bring my own client in, everyone in the salon gives me an attitude and they don't talk to me. And everybody was like, why do you care what everybody else thinks? But there is something to be said for culture. If you get that vibe and that ick feeling and you're trying really hard, like maybe he is doing everything that he needs to do, and maybe their negative energy is pulling on him and making him not be as effective behind the chair because has these energy sucking vampires. That is a thing. But my bigger question is, I want you to take out a pen and a piece of paper, if at all possible. You may be driving and listening to this. You may be watching this on replay on YouTube. So you may not be able to write it down, but promise me that you will go home and watch this again when you have something to write with and to write down. So we are in the third quarter. It's the home stretch. If this were a marathon, we are like running out of speed. We're exhausted. Most of us have gotten into this autopilot where we show up in the salon every day because we need to, and we just accept what's on the book. We're not looking at the metrics, and we're not taking the pulse of our book, of our metrics, of our statistics. Most of you, I can almost guarantee, are not looking at any of that. You get tips, you go to Marshall's, you buy an outfit. You get tips, you go to Starbucks, you buy yourself a coffee. You get tips, you go out on a Saturday night and you treat yourself to a nice dinner. But you're not tracking what those gratuities were. How much do you know how much you earned this year so far in gratuities? I would almost bet that 98% of you will say, I have no idea what I made in tips this entire year, because most of us don't track that. We look at it as like free fun money. But I would venture to guess that most of you are getting a minimum of $100 per day. If you work a full 8-hour day and you're booked, you should be seeing at least $100 in gratuity. Now, some of you, it has to go through the front desk and you're getting it in your paycheck. Others, you're getting cash from the client, which good for you if you are. Those days are kind of dwindling to nothing. People are starting to use Venmo and Tippy and these other apps, but cash is like almost gone. It barely exists. So if you have your pen and piece of paper, there's some questions that I want you to ask. I'm asking you, but I want you to ask yourself. We are finishing up the third quarter. We have 1 quarter left. Most people make the most of their income in the fourth quarter, especially in the salon industry. We have back to school. We have that fall. Everybody starts getting in the boots and the sweaters and the accessories, and they all of a sudden are looking at their hair, feeling like they need a little pick-me-up. Summer, not so much. People are like getting sun-kissed highlights. They're doing the whole beachy, let it dry natural because it's too hot to blow it dry. But fall, you should be inundated right now with requests for appointments. And if you're not, you need to hold the mirror up and stop blaming your boss, stop blaming the economy, stop blaming your location. I've heard that bled to death. Oh, my location. You're not a tree. If your location sucks, move. Stop blaming your surroundings and take responsibility for your lack of business. So my first question is, first of all, do you know what your retention rate is? And if you don't, do you know how to get that percentage? Now, it's 2019. Most people have some sort of automation in their business. They're using either an app on their phone or, the overall salon has a software. So in most cases, it's a click of a button for you to know your retention numbers. Now, some of those numbers get skewed because front desk doesn't enter it in properly as like a new client or a request or whatever it is. There's a little bit of room for error, but for the most part, you need to know, are people coming back? And you can do it simply, I can do it looking on my phone. I can go back, 3 months back from today, and I can look at what today looked like 3 months ago. And if those same clients haven't either been in the last 2 weeks or coming in the next 2 weeks, I know that they're lost. It's very simple. So you can do it manually. Don't say, oh, I don't have an automation and it's exhausting, it's too much. You need to know that, because I'm going to, at the end of this chat, give you some free and low cost ways of getting new clients. But if you're not retaining the clients, you need to look in that mirror and say, Is it my personality and my chair side manner? Am I just like a dud that's boring that people don't want to come see me? Like, this is going to hurt some feelings, but you have to know that, people will say like, I've done everything. I've done the Groupon. I've done ads. I've done dollars off. I've done free. I've done models. Well, at that point, you need to look at yourself and say, you need to get some education and you need to improve your skills, because there's something not happening behind that chair, that it's much, much, much easier to keep an existing client and cheaper to keep an existing client than to get a new one in your chair. Not to mention, it's exhausting to always have a new client. You and I both know how much more energy it takes to have a brand new client in the salon. You find yourself that morning spending more time doing your hair, wearing your favorite outfit, making sure that you look the part. It's kind of like a blind date versus a date with your husband of 40 years. You're going to make sure that you shave your legs, your bra and panties match, all those things that you do on the first date that you don't do once you're in a committed relationship, because you know each other inside and out. You fart in front of each other. All those things happen further into a relationship that didn't happen in the beginning. And it's the same with a new client. So, it's exhausting to always have 2 and 3 new clients a day on your book. You want to get to the point where you have a regular client base. And guys, it's less than 200 people need to be your client for you to be fully booked. And when you think about how many people you know personally in your own little circle, 200 people in a year is not a lot of people to have to attract. We are not Amazon. We are not Apple. We're not these big, gigantic corporations that need millions and millions of people to keep our operations going. We need like 150 maybe people to be loyal to us and to keep coming. So the first question is, what is your retention rate? Then, do you know what your average income is per hour that you are generating in the salon? Whether you're the owner or an employee, I don't care. I don't want you to say, well, it doesn't matter to me, I'm just an employee. Yes, it does matter. You need to know, what are you generating per hour? Is it your speed that you need to look at? Are you taking really long? Are you stopping and looking at the client when you're talking and you're not moving your hands and you're not keeping on going? Does the client feel like when they come to see you, they need to spend the whole entire day? These are all the things you need to look at that will affect your retention. What is your retail percentage to service? It's been proven. And I know you're going to say, because I say it too, oh, Amazon, Ulta, Sephora, everybody's dipping into our thing. And it's very true. But you all have those clients that trust your recommendation. And if you've given up and you're not even recommending anything anymore, those clients are not going to have healthy hair. They're not going to get the treatments and the protein and the moisture and the things that they need in their hair, because they don't know that they need it. So it's your responsibility to just keep on trying and keep on recommending products and have the product in stock. Even if you have 2 of each product, have 2. Have 1 for a backup and 1 to sell at all times. It's not that expensive to have that. How many online raving reviews do you have? Be honest with yourself. If I Googled you right now, could I even find you? Do you even show up on Yelp, on Google reviews, on your neighborhood next door app, on anything? Are you even visible online? Can I even find you when I Google you? That's huge. So, and be honest with yourself. The next one is, I've experienced this with moving to a new state. This question, this is what I ask myself. If I were to move to your city, how would I know about you? If I were to move wherever you are, if you're in Kansas City, San Francisco, Missouri, like I don't care where you are in the world. If I were to move to that city and I were within a 10-mile radius of you, will I hear about you? Will anyone tell me, oh, go see Elaine Travis, she's in St. Pete Beach? Will that happen? And if it doesn't happen organically, number 1, why not? Number 2, what can you do to get yourself on some sort of website and have some sort of online presence so that when I'm searching for someone in my area, you pop up? It could be as simple as the product company that you use. Most of us don't take advantage of most products. I know Diva Curl has it. Redken has it. I believe L'Oreal does. Most of the brands have a referral website where when you punch in a zip code, it will list the salons that carry their product. At the minimum, you should take advantage of those free listings just for the Google optimization of showing up in some way. Even if it's just the salon that you work in that shows up, you have a higher chance of being found. This is the one that's gonna sting a little bit. If I did find out about you, why would I want to come see you? What makes you special, and why do I need to know you, and why do I want you to do my hair? Someone just reached out to me and said, hey, I know that you moved to St. Pete. Who do you recommend to do my hair? And I'm not doing hair right now behind the chair. So they knew that I wasn't an option. And they're like, I know I have somebody moving there. Who do you recommend? And I said, to be perfectly honest, I've been here almost a year. I've gone to 2 different people, one for cut and one for color. And I don't feel like I would recommend either of those people to you. And I haven't heard about or seen anybody stand out in my area to make me feel compelled to recommend. And I stand behind people that I recommend. So I'm not just going to say, oh, I went to this guy, he gave me an okay haircut. And no, I'm not going to do that. So I was just like, honestly, most of the people that I've met are in individual suites. And from what I've seen, I wasn't wowed by anything that would make me send your person to them. So is that you? Are you that person that's, okay, she's nice, she's sweet. How are you being described, and how would you like to be described? Write that out on this piece of paper. I recommend Elaine Travis. She has been an expert colorist for 33 years. She educates other colorists on hair color. So I trust that she's going to do a good job on my color because she really knows her stuff. Something like that. How do you want to be described? And if you're not being described how you want to be described, you need to look at yourself, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Am I that person? Or do I just have more confidence than skill? That's a huge thing right now in our industry. There is way more confidence than skill. And social media has made it easy for people to be a flash in the pan, do like one kick-ass makeover and, spin the chair around from the before and after. And it's like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. And then you see them teach at a show and you're like, whoa, she really does not really know what she's doing in the color. She's kind of getting lucky and using filters and excellent photography and so on and so on. So are you really technically proficient? And if you're not, what are you waiting for? I feel like in my career, I didn't get really awesome at physically doing color and before and afters until the last 5 years. And I've been doing this 33 years. It has been such a process of knowing in my head what to do and then taking risks behind the chair. I'm still a wimp when it comes to a kick-ass color mount. I still pull back and go lighter than I really should because I don't want them to say, oh my gosh, you took away all my blonde. That's my issue because I'm blonde and I don't like when I look dingy and muddy and not quite as bright. So we bring our own opinions and our own feelings into our work behind the chair. So we get cautious. So you can learn, go to classes. But if you don't try what you learned and if you don't improve and practice on doll heads, do model calls when you're not busy instead of boohooing in a forum saying, I'm so slow. Put out on Facebook, Instagram, looking for models, $25 fee for product, whatever it is to cover the cost of the product. The owner of your salon, if you're not the owner, is going to be happy that you're taking a proactive approach to getting people in the salon. And then you have the time to do a quality well-lit before, well-lit after. You have the time to touch up the person's makeup a little bit and make them look really good in the after. And then you have all this content in your phone where when you have a day that you don't have anything to say on social media, you're like, oh, I did that model day. And then you can post the photographs. Make the most use of your time because you'll never get that time back. The only time that exists is right now, this minute. There's no future, there's no past, there's right now. So if you're not busy right now and you look at your book and you have a big gaping hole at 3 o'clock today, you better get your ass out to Starbucks or to the local deli or whatever is in your area. There's somewhere that a lot of people are at lunchtime, and you go out there and you check people out and you find somebody who's hurting that needs some serious color, and you say, hi, my name's Elaine. You know, I had a big cancellation today and I'm working on my social media content. I would absolutely love it if you could come see me today at 3 o'clock. I will do your color completely free of charge. I will take amazing pictures of you that you can use on your own social media. They're yours to keep. Who wouldn't want to do that if they were free in the afternoon? Go to a university. College kids are poor. They can't get their hair done. They have great long virgin hair sometimes. Or they have really grown out color because they splurged once. They usually go once a year to the salon, and it's usually at Christmas when they're home on break and mom and dad are paying for it. That's when they finally check in and look in the mirror at their color. So there's a million ways to get practice and get your proficiency up. Your speed, your technique. So we talked about, why would I make an appointment with you? And really sit with that one. Like, why you? Why am I going to come to you? Why are you special? And if you're not special, then you're just going to get lost. There's way too much chatter and noise on social media, and you're just going to fall down to the bottom of it's going to all shake down, and you're going to be stuck at the bottom, and you're going to get lost in the shuffle. So if you find yourself busy, I've had this in my salon. 2 people stand out to me that worked for me in my salon. Really awesome at the one-shot lucky color. The first time they see a client, they hit it out of the park because they're on that first date. They did the makeup, the hair, they're on their best behavior. They're offering them a beverage. Is the temperature of the water okay? They're doing all the things they should have been doing with all of the repeat clients, all on the new client. So they knock it out of the park. The client loves it. And then they're all puffed up with ego, and they go up to the front and they charge this exorbitant amount of money because they're like, oh, new body. She doesn't know the prices. She's not going to know what I normally charge. So if they charge a repeat client, say $150 for that service, they'll jump it right up to like $220. And I'm looking like, what the hell is that all about? As the owner, of course, I want more income generated in the salon, but I know that client's not going to come back. And now I'm upset because it costs me over $10 to get that client, probably more like 20 now, because I'm talking 10 years ago. Costs about $20 minimum to get that new guest in the door. And then she's puffing up the ticket because she's been slow, and she's so happy she has a new body in her chair that she gives this giant ticket. The client won't say anything because they're embarrassed. I've been in this position. I've gone to New York to different famous hairstylists, and I go up and what I think the ticket was going to be when it's like $50 more, I'm like, whoa, and my heart's racing and my ears get all red and I get that hot feeling, but I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want this snooty receptionist at the Shishi Lala salon to judge me and think I can't afford to be here. I want to act cool, like, oh, I do this all the time. But inside I'm thinking, shit, that was not cool, and I am never coming back to that person again. So what do you think is going to happen? People, when they have an unpleasant experience, they go out to dinner that night and they're like, man, I love my hair, but that was like a rape. Like, I feel violated. I feel like I need a shower. That was just unbelievable. Like, I was quoted $150 and my bill was $220. Like, what's that? Then I had to pull a tip on the $220. Now I'm like 40 some dollars on a tip. Now I'm almost $300. My husband's going to kill me, or I'm so upset that I spent that money. Whatever's going through your mind, you want to share that with every one of your girlfriends that you come into contact with. Or if it's a guy, your guy friend, you're like, oh, holy shit, that was a really expensive haircut. So we will share that very readily and easily because we're pissed. Like, it's like that you're spewing out fire of like, wow, you know, I can't believe this salon. Who do they think they are? When did that happen? When did she get so expensive? But they're not going to do the same thing when they have a great experience. When they have a great experience, they're just sitting at dinner and they're loving their hair, and they're not going to talk about where they got their hair done because they feel like you're their little secret and they want to keep you to themselves because they don't want to have a hard time getting an appointment. It's crazy psychological crap, but it's the truth. I've seen it. I've been in this 33 years. I've seen it over and over and over again. So that stylist, I had one stylist who is consistently, she generated 150,000 and up per year. With her gratuities, she was well over 6 figures, and she was in her 20s. And she just kept doing this. She just kept overcharging. And I would sit her down and say, you know, your numbers are great, but I'm worn out. I'm exhausted as an owner because I have to keep getting new bodies in your chair. At this point in your career, you know, 3-4 years in, she should have had a steady clientele and a loyal following, and I shouldn't have to feed her anyone. So she was like, the analogy I use all the time is like, if you're in a boat and there's a tiny little hole and the water keeps filling up in the boat and you keep bailing it out with a bucket, you're like a boat with a hole in it. You have this rotation of clients and you look really busy and successful. But if I sit down as the owner and I look at your metrics that I'm asking you to look at right now and write down, you know, what is your retention? How many of these people that are coming to you are coming back? Because if you're just going through them, you're churning and burning, it's exhausting for you. It's exhausting for me, the owner. It's exhausting for everyone because we have to keep doing promotions and like begging people to come in to see you. You're a talented colorist. You're a talented stylist. It's not your technique or your actual work that's suffering. It's your attitude of, I'm just going to charge them so much because I didn't really love her as a client, and I don't care if she comes back because 3 more people, Elaine's just going to keep putting bodies in my chair and 3 more people are going to take her place. It's not like that anymore. It's not that easy. Think about your own hair. You know, for us, it's hard to think about that because we usually have a coworker or someone that we went to beauty school with. We all have like our person. But think about, try and not be a hairdresser right now. Take your hairdresser hat off and be a non-hairdresser. You work in pharmaceutical sales and you constantly are traveling and on the road and busy. And you're like, I just need my hair done. Let's call this traveling saleswoman Jennifer. So Jennifer is dressed to the nines every day. She's up and out at 7 a.m. because she has to be, 50 miles away for an appointment. And she has to bring, bagels and coffee to the office to schmooze them, to get an appointment with the doctor, whatever. She's busy. So she needs someone that runs on time. She knows she's going to get a good service from. Price probably isn't an object for Jennifer because she's successful and she's busy and she doesn't want to have to nickel and dime and use coupons and all that other stuff. She just wants a really good job on her hair, and she doesn't want to have to wash her hair every day because she's busy. So she needs a haircut that's going to be wash and wear and fall into place without her struggling with 80 million hot tools and a whole regime. So how is she finding you? How is Jennifer finding you? What are you doing to attract that client? Who is your ideal client avatar? Is it Jennifer, the pharma saleswoman who's on the run, who's busy, who doesn't even go on to social media because she doesn't have time to scroll mindlessly and look at the latest craze on handbags and shoes? She's busy packing lunches, getting her kids ready so that she can go and travel the next day. So you have to put yourself in your ideal client's body and mind and routine. So you've done all these things. You went through the checklist. What's your retention? What's your retail? What is your special why? Like, why do I want to go to you? And now you've checked all those off and you know it's not you. It's just, you just need more clients. Maybe you're new to another city. Maybe you're just starting out. That's a whole different story. But if you are more than 5 years in and you've been in the same location and you're still not busy, like I said, this may sting, but it's you. It's not the salon. It's not the location. It's none of those things. It's something you are doing or not doing. Maybe you're just not interesting to talk to. Maybe you're negative with your stories and you talk about negative things. Maybe you talk about politics too much. You need to ask a friend and a coworker, like have coffee with a friend and say, be honest with me. What do you see that I'm doing or not doing that's hindering my growth behind the chair? You're not going to like what you hear, but you need to hear it because you don't want to just keep being that boat with a hole in it. So let's talk about low and no cost promotions. My number one promotion that I've done over and over again is not your typical referral. We always, ongoing at my former salon, which is now my daughter's, we always have a referral system in place. We have beautiful glossy gift cards that are very professional, very nice looking gift cards. They look like something that Neiman Marcus or the Ritz-Carlton would give out. Black glossy with a sparkly silver accent. It has our logo and it looks like a gift. It's not a cutout of a newspaper, $10 off. Stop. If you're doing that, just stop. Nobody wants to have to cut out anything and get ink on their fingers and do any of that. So it's a physical, beautiful card. We give those out like, popcorn at the movies, like potato chips, like M&Ms, like see all the food references. So if I'm at a restaurant and I leave a nice cash tip with the waitress, I leave one of those cards with it. And I say, hey, my salon is, 5 minutes from here. If you're ever looking for a new stylist or colorist, we would love to see you. Here's a gift, not a coupon. It's the way that you spin it. So that's ongoing forever. So new client gets $25 off their first visit, any service. And I split that with the employee. So the salon eats half of that and the employee eats half of that. And that's fair. The salon loses money, the stylist loses money, but we both gain a new client and it's up to us to keep them. The referring client, we reward higher. We give the referring client $30 off of their next service. So that's an amazing incentive for someone that comes every 5 weeks. $30 off of an $80 root retouch, that's a lot. That's almost 50% off of their service. So we get a lot of traction with that and a lot of good responses, and we gain a lot of clients that way. So then every once in a while, I look ahead and I say, what are our slowest months? Traditionally, it fluctuates. Sometimes April randomly will be our slowest month. And I don't know how that ever happened, but it does. Usually for me, it was January and August. So I have to plan ahead and get ahead of things and say, what can I do prior to January to increase my business so much that everybody that's due every 5 weeks, several people are going to be due in that slow time. Don't wait until January 2nd and go, oh my God, I'm so slow. Every year it's like this. Hello, every year it's like this. If you know that it rains the second week of August every single year where you live, get the hell out of there and make that your vacation and go somewhere that it's not raining and stop bitching. You know the patterns. So do something. Don't just keep complaining about it. So what we've done that's been super successful and super low cost for the return on investment is huge, is a super big referral contest where every person that refers still gets the new client still gets 25, the referring still gets the 30. And then on top of that, we track the amount of the referrals and we say in this 3-month period. So if January is the slow time, 3 months prior to January, we want to start, we would want to start right now on this referral contest. And then I would just say to myself as the owner, okay, what's hot right now? Like when I was still in Philadelphia, if I was doing it right now, J-Lo was coming to our venue to do a concert for the first time. J-Lo is somebody that my ideal client avatar would love to go see. Like I just know that. The J-Lo, Lady Gaga, everybody loves Fleetwood Mac for some reason. The Rolling Stones, whoever is like my demographics, like ideal. Oh my gosh, I would kill to go to that concert. Concert tickets have gotten super ridiculously expensive. A decent seat at a good concert that's in demand is now $200 per seat. So for $400, if I pay attention and I sign up on Ticketmaster, because this is what I do, I sign up on Ticketmaster for who I think is a concert that my ideal client would want to go to. And I put an alert in Ticketmaster and I say, let me know when the pre-sale for these tickets happens. A lot of times it's through my credit card. We'll have a special promotion and we've all been there where it's like, use your credit card, digits or whatever to get the pre-sale. You get the best seats and you get the best opportunity to get them before all the bots and everything buy up all the tickets and blow them up to like $1,500. So you buy 2 awesome seats to the hottest concert that's coming to town, and you know those tickets always become available way before the concert. So it's perfect for this retail or referral promotion because you have the time to get all these referrals and then hand out the reward. So that's been super successful. Broadway shows, Book of Mormon was huge in New York City. There was like a wait list. People were paying $1,000 for like nosebleed seats. Everybody wanted to go. So I made sure that I bought 4 seats because I wanted to go. So my husband and I had tickets, and then I bought 2 other tickets for the referral contest. And it was whoever sends the most new clients within this 3-month period will get Book of Mormon, orchestra, middle, row 5, whatever. Like you play up the location of the seats. And again, it doesn't cost you more than $400. Every single time I've done that, we've gotten a minimum of 80 to 100 new clients. So do the math. Even if they just get a simple haircut, 100 new clients getting a $60 haircut, that's way more than the $400 that I invested. So people say, I don't have money to do promotions. I don't have money to do Facebook ads. You don't have money because you're not spending the money to get the money. You have to play to win. It's like saying, I'm so unlucky, I never win the lottery, but you never bought the ticket. You have to play to win. So if you have a really good week and you get a lot of extra tips, put that money aside and make that your advertising fund for the slow time. Don't go out and spend it on a new outfit or a dinner out. Eat a grilled cheese. Don't go out to dinner and spend that money you would spend for 2 dinners out to get 100 new clients. It's a no-brainer. It's simple. Something else that I've done in the past, here's another special tip. If you don't have any money at all, we all have friends. We all have somebody who works somewhere that they have some sort of connection. So I have a friend who works at a really high-end department store. And I said to her, do you have an employee discount that you can get me a piece of high-end jewelry for a lot less than the retail price? So I happen to love Yerman bracelets. So this is my Yerman bracelet, and it's not even real gold. It's real gemstones, and I think it's like sterling silver or something. So the price of these is insane. I think this bracelet retail is like $800, and it doesn't have any diamonds or anything blingy or special about it. It's just that it's a designer brand. So I went to the Yerman counter and I looked and I said, what's like the best looking piece that I can get for the budget of the contest that I want to do? And I got I got the black onyx stone because I'm like, everybody likes black and silver. It matches everything and anything. I didn't want to pick like purple or blue or green or something that would be more that someone would have to have their taste to like that. I just picked black, and I picked a thinner one than I have. And I think it ended up costing me $300. And we did another referral contest. And I said, the person who refers the most new clients gets this beautiful Yerman bracelet. And we displayed it and took photographs of it on the Yerman little satchel that it comes in. And we put pretty flowers around it. And we did this, Instagram campaign where we're like, win this Yerman bracelet retailed at $800 or whatever it was. And why would you not send a couple friends to the salon to win that beautiful bracelet? And one of our really loyal clients that had been coming to us since we opened, she never really sent anybody in because she never really thought about it. And she won the contest. So she had been coming to us the longest, had the most ability to send the most people to us over the years, but she never really was like, why would I send somebody to my hair? It's just something that they don't think about. Something else that I've done is teamed up with a travel agency, and I have a timeshare in Aruba. So I was like, okay, I'll give up going to my timeshare 1 year. And then people's, block would be, oh, I want a trip to Aruba, but now I have to spend $500 a person for the airfare. That's expensive. So I'm like, okay, how can I make this more of an awesome offer? So I called my travel agent, who I have a great rapport with, and I said, would you be willing to donate like a buy one, get one free? If they buy one flight, will you donate the second one for this contest for me? And she was like, absolutely. So you would be surprised if your friends own restaurants. They would be more than happy to give you a $100 gift card to their restaurant because you're going to bring in someone who obviously is in the area if they're coming to see you. Say the restaurant, like in our case, we have a wonderful restaurant 2 blocks down. We always cross promote with them because we want our clients to get in the habit of, oh, I'm getting my hair done Wednesday night. I'm going to meet my friend Jennifer. We're going to meet at the Stone Rose restaurant because that's what I do when I get my hair done. We want that to be part of their routine. We want them to go local and spend in our local area. And even better is, you know, a local boutique that's not getting a lot of foot traffic. You say, hey, you know, give my guests $20 towards a purchase if they come in to see you because they came to my salon. I'm physically sending a referral to a boutique. That person, the main street that we're on, the speed limit is so high that you would never even notice that boutique if you weren't physically sent there by a referral. So it goes both ways. I am a big believer as well in having special events to stand out. If you're new and you don't have any clients at all, you're not going to get a referral from the typical Instagram, you know, picture of your client going like this. Someone's not going to scroll down Instagram and say, oh my gosh, I have to get my hair done by that girl because it looks like everybody else's pictures. Yes, you did a good job. Yes, it's pretty, but I'm not going to leave my hairdresser for that girl that's doing that. What I may do is attend an event at your salon and meet you that way. So for me, if I wasn't busy, I would team up with my ideal client avatar is a woman whose kids are grown, they're in college or older, so they don't have little kids. But if your ideal client is that mom, that stay-at-home mom, the best way to get to her is through mom things. Like not Chuck E. Cheese because that's too commercial, but like when my kids were babies, I belonged to Sally's Music Circle. I still remember the songs from Sally's Music Circle. My daughter's 25. She's going to be 26. And I remember those songs. And we met other moms there. You took your baby and you were like, you put the oil in the pan, it goes pop, 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 the popcorn song. Like I remember it like it was yesterday. And you relate to the other moms because you're all exhausted. You're all like, let's go for coffee after this. I didn't sleep all night. So going to the salon is like the last thing on your list because you're freaking exhausted. So think about that mom. When is her time her own? It's when her husband comes home from work, takes over with the kids. He's exhausted too. Dinner's done. Everything's cleaned up. She's like ready for bed, but that's the perfect time to have like a women's night on a Wednesday night. Like have it start at 8 p.m. in your salon and invite those Sally's Music Circle moms, you know, do it through Sally's. You say, you know, I want to invite all of your moms to this special event just for your members. Make it like a VIP members only, invitation only special event. It costs you nothing. You can have like a signature drink, and I wouldn't even make it alcohol because they're so exhausted. They don't even want to have an alcoholic drink. Like it may be like a decaf cappuccino, whatever. Just have a signature drink and like a little snack. It will cost you under $20 to, you know, make these women happy, and offer them the most relaxing scalp massage, oil treatment service. Like lay them back in the sink and rub their head and their temples and put soft music and lower the lights and just make it all about pampering mom and just rub their head for 20 straight minutes. Do a little treatment, maybe pop them under a dryer so that you can take care of another mom and just keep rotating them, and they're going to talk amongst themselves. They're going to have that camaraderie. And what happens is they got to your location. They know that the parking was good. They know that they like the look of it, the smell of it, the vibe of it, the culture. They're experiencing your space and you with zero risk of having their hair screwed up. Like you can't hurt someone rubbing their head with oils and having nice aromatherapy things going on and rubbing their neck and shoulders, putting like that heated neck pillow that I always talk about that you pop in the microwave and put it around their shoulders and have really nice music on. They're not going to be like, oh crap, I left my hairdresser and now look at what happens in my hair. There's zero risk. I always tell people when they move to a new area, I'm like, Go to the salon you think you want to go to and book a blow dry, because who cares? If it stinks and you don't like the whole experience, who cares? You go home and you touch it up yourself, or you rewash it and do it over again. So that's my advice to you. Like, be proactive, host these events. You know, we had a Styles and Profiles event where we invited women to come. We had a student photographer that was in college. She wanted to work on her, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, I'm losing the word. Portfolio. She wants to work on her portfolio of photographs. You can't afford a shishi la la awesome photographer, but it's a basic picture. So we have this beautiful velvet sofa in the front of the salon that looks more like a living room, and a beautiful chandelier. It's a beautiful backdrop. So we had a signature cocktail that was delicious, and I had it in one of those big glass things with a spigot, so we didn't have to stand there and make them individually. We had beautiful glasses that we got from Marshall's, you know, 4 for $8 or something. We didn't serve it in a plastic disposable cup. It's all about your brand and making it a special event. And all we did was shampoo their hair, talk to them about the condition of their hair, if they needed a treatment, etc. And then we styled and blew dry one side of their hair, and then we had them do their harder side. Like, if they're right-handed and they have an easy time doing the right side, we did the right side and made them do the left side, so that we could show them, you know, what they may be doing wrong. And then we had somebody use the actual client's phone to videotape them styling their own hair, to remind them of the tips and tricks that we did. And then after they were styled, we had them come up front, and this photographer took a picture for them, and then we sent it to them, and we said, go home and update your social media photo, because clients that are my ideal avatar don't take selfies. They don't regularly get profile pictures taken of them or headshots. They just don't have any reason to do that, but they would like to have a nice picture of themselves for their social media. So it was a win-win. They got to experience our stylists. They got their hands on the product. Some of them bought either a wet brush or a curling iron or product. So we generated a little bit of income, but the point wasn't to get income. It was to get exposure. So people will say, I don't discount my services. I don't give anything away for free. Well, 50% of zero will always be zero. Always. If you have no one in your chair and you're not doing anything, you're always going to have this. But if you do an event and you put yourself out there, yes, you're donating your time, but you're there anyway. You're there sitting, bitching in the back room that you're not busy. So take a different approach. Stop blaming the owner, the location, the weather, the times, the product. This product's not covering the gray. No, you're not formulating properly. Take responsibility. If you're having issues, if you're having more than one correction or adjustment per week, especially in hair color, you need to get some education. It's you, it's not them. And it's not, oh, they asked for this and then they changed their mind. No, it's you. So take a look in the mirror, get those pad and pen out. I went long on this one because I get fired up and excited to share these ideas, but stop playing the blame game and stop the churning and burning of clients in your chair, and really, really nurture the ones that are there. Stop getting dressed up and showing up for only the new ones. Get dressed up and show up for the existing ones. Give them a couple free painted on highlights around their face during their next touch up. Show them how much you appreciate them, because it's much simpler and less expensive to keep the ones you already have than to get and attract the new ones. Have an awesome, awesome day.